when I use the Japanese names and I call you by your family name or your first name, because when your Chief Cabinet Secretary Yoshihide Suga announced on the 6th of September 2019 that you're going to swap your family name first and last name second, and so we all got confused as to what your first name or last name is, so I apologize if I call you by your family name instead. But I'd like to report out as to what I heard in terms of superlatives, and I will give a few recommendations for how those who did not use superlatives can use it to enhance the impact and effectiveness of that phrase or the sentence they delivered. So Victor said that when he joined Toastmasters, he said that I have become more courageous. Perhaps Victor can say something like, my friends say that I have done the most courageous thing which they would not have tried. The most courageous thing. So when you say the most courageous rather than I have become more courageous, that you've done the most courageous thing, people will say, oh really, what is it? And then they sit at the edge of their feet to listen to the next 10 seconds as to what that most courageous thing is. So it's just the impact. When Raja said, to find a life partner is the most difficult, I was thinking, okay, you have a tick on the box that you have used the superlative. Raja said the speaker is most in love now when he was introducing George. So most in love. So it is not he's the loveliest now, he's most in love. There is loveliest, yes. Love, lovely, and loveliest. But in love, more in love, and most in love. And by the way, it's Charlene's birthday today, right? Oh, she's not here today.
So the night is still young.
The night is still young. Yes. George mentioned that he was receiving the Best Boyfriend Award, and it was the biggest honor for him. And he said that he was the most caring, most attentive, and most romantic boyfriend. So superlatives good. When the TME was introducing Amelia, he said that she wanted to live life to the fullest. So that's another superlative, well done. Amelia mentioned that the biggest challenge is ourselves. So while biggest challenge would have been a good superlative, she did say later on in the speech that that is too scary. That is too scary and that is too... Yeah. So but how would you scariest in that context? Perhaps I could recommend that you say, that's the scariest thing that I've had to do. Because when you say that's the scariest thing, everybody says, oh, I've done more scary thing than you. But how do you really make it impactful that this is your scariest? Well, you personalize it to say it's the scariest thing I've had to do. I know you've done a lot of other scary things, but in my own life, it is the most scary or the scariest. Ooh, it should be scariest, not most scary. Go Sagawa Go, he said that my favorite places, your speech title was my favorite places in Japan. Perhaps you could have said the top 5. You bring it to the extreme and people go, really? Because it's not just your favorite, but my favorite top 5. And it's not just my favorite places. Perhaps you can say the most unknown and least appreciated places in Japan. Then people will go, oh yeah, tell me more about it. And then you bring an impact and curiosity to your listeners. Shiratori said, good luck for the new year. Perhaps you could say, best of luck. Or you could say, may this year be the luckiest that you've had in your entire life. Just add some additional excitement. But you are already very excitable. Thank you very much. The most important thing to believe in is, that was a phrase that she used, so most important, certainly there's no such thing as importantest, so most important. She also said, I had the most gorgeous view of Mount Fuji. You described that, thank you very much. When Joken mentioned Zhou Youguang, she said that Zhou Youguang is deeply appreciated by the foreign Chinese language learners. Deeply appreciated is, deeply appreciated. How can you say he is the most appreciated Chinese teacher or pinyin user? you bring it to the extreme, then we'll really go, oh, Mr. Zhou is really a hero. He's not just deeply appreciated, which is just, but most appreciated. Wow! It adds a different impact. Would you believe me when I tell you that sometimes public speakers are like actors and actresses?
Yeah.
Sometimes a little bit of exaggeration might be needed just to bring that impact across. But don't over-exaggerate, it has to be truthful too. Pinyin is the biggest help, most useful to Chinese pronunciation. So that was well done. 1966 to 1967, you could have said it was the saddest decade in Mr. Zhou's life. Saddest. Right? So sad, sadder, saddest. Mr. Lim Ang Chiu said, okay, when the speeches were delivered in Chinese, I forgot to mention that superlatives also exist in the Chinese language. And I was listening out for the word 最. 最好, 最棒, 最漂亮, 最棒. I didn't hear it 最. After we bring it 最. So even when they evaluated in Chinese, I was also listening out for the 最. When she was talking about figure skating, perhaps you could say that figure skating is the toughest but most graceful sport. Bring it to the extreme. Because when you ask, oh, who has seen figure skating? Oh, but we say that this is the toughest one. Do you appreciate it? So it brings about a certain effect. When Shen talked about education, Shen said that education is the biggest equalizer in the world, referring to how it levels the playing field for everybody. You also said that Singapore has the best quality of teachers. Well, you did say that they were trained in this and that. Perhaps you can use superlatives like Singapore's teachers are the most caring, most dedicated, and most well-trained teachers in the world. So you extend it a little bit more, rather than they are the best quality. Really? Japan has good quality teachers too. But to specify in which area do you think we really are the best? Che Boy talked about food delivery service, having had the most benefit for your family, most beneficial. Perhaps you could also use other superlatives like food delivery service has benefited the laziest children, the busiest mothers, and the smartest businessmen. Superlatives. You can add all your stakeholders into the same sentence. Okay, so I went to the most dangerous country, USA, and met the friendliest American, and I ate the sweetest cake. Superlatives. Aaron Azari, who has had to leave, says that his greatest contribution in his evaluation was whatever. Oh, I agree with Aaron that perhaps a speaker in the future could do away with even PowerPoint. You know, the beauty about language is you can actually paint a picture with words. You can paint Mount Fuji as what the speaker has done. It was snow-capped. The snow was white as snow, peaked at the top and grey at the bottom. But its reflection was reflected in the blue of the ocean. Now, can you picture it in your mind?
Yeah.
You don't need a picture. So as Toastmasters, we can actually use descriptive words to describe all the favorite places in the world as well. Like I was in this particular place, and my wife, with her thick glistening lips, was looking at me romantically in the midst of the plum blossoms that were blooming in autumn.
Best boyfriend award.
Mizukami Fumiko said he was very humble in acknowledging his boyfriends. Now, is there a word humble, humbler, and humblest? Yes, humble, humbler, and humblest. Yes. And then Toshio Yoda, your 3 points were very clear in the evaluation. Perhaps you could say the clearest point in your speech was when you said this, this, and this. Give people curiosity. The introduction of John C. by TME, the biggest obsession, the greatest passion. And then John C. himself said, Yukiko was the, and then you said, best today. So thank you very much everybody for using superlatives. Good luck in your future use.